Greetings, everyone. How y'all doing today? Happy Monday. I am the Moon Mama, and today is the day that the moon rules, and the moon is currently in Taurus at this very moment, but it will be in Gemini within like the next hour at the longest. Happy Moon Day. So I felt very, coming here this morning, I feel sort of like, what am I going to talk about? I don't really have anything to talk about, which lets me know that I really have something to talk about. Because I'm like, I don't have anything to talk about. I don't, whatever will I say? And the moon is in Gemini, and I am a Gemini moon, and Mercury is conjunct my Gemini. So I know that whatever I say is going to be really significant for our conversation. Because Mercury is the ruler of this new moon that we're coming into tonight at 8 o'clock. And it is very important that we begin to really understand that reality is changing, you all. Reality is changing. It's shifting. The way we have been moving through reality is going to be different. When I was a very little girl, I used to see these commercials, and sometimes I see it now even. But it would be like this little girl, and she'd be like, Grandpa, tell me about, whatever. And he would say, well, there was a time when we used to exchange cash. And, like reality as we know it is changing, because as humans, we are evolving. And so those old ways of being that have been deeply rooted in separation and fear and hierarchy and power and control, those ways are dying. They're literally dissolving before our very eyes. And so it's like one of the things that I'm seeing with myself is that, you guys know this, I love my work. I love to sit with people and look at their charts and help them see something that they couldn't see that changes their lives forever. I love it. No, my video is it's clean. Like I'm not having any technical trouble at all. So let's just say that there's no more technical trouble. We're going to clear away all the technical trouble. We're going to clear away all the blocks. We have an open channel for communication right here, right now. We have an open channel for communication. Okay, perfect. So reality, our relationship to reality is changing because most of us have been conditioned in a world based in separation, in a world that has been configured and connected to narratives that are false, that are opposite of nature, meaning separation is the opposite of oneness, meaning where some people have power and some people have none. Now we're going to move into a reality where everyone has power or access to power. We lived in a world where men seemed to have the authority over women. We're going to all have our own authority, but the early stages of it will look like women have authority over men because the tides are changing. But we're not changing into a society that looks like the opposite. We're not changing into a society that looks like black people are now going to do to white people what white people were doing to black people. That's not what we're doing. That's not it. And it might look like that for a second, but that's not what's happening. That will happen because as we course correct, sometimes we have to walk back down the ways we came in order to get our power back. So it might look like, oh, this group is now going to be in power, but that's not what's happening. We're literally just making the course correction so that the alignments can be aligned. And like I said, sometimes you have to walk back where you want to collect yourself. So for the last couple of days, I have been having dreams that I remember. I generally don't remember my dreams, but I have been holding the space for me to experience reality in its true form, which means that there is no power outside of me. All the power in reality is mine if I understand that that is true. But if I don't understand that that is true, I will give it to doctors, I will give it to partners, I will give it to friends, I will give it away, I will reassign it if I don't understand that it is mine. And so one of the things that I am doing is reclaiming the places that I gave my power away. And my dreams have been showing it to me, which is so profound. So yesterday I had a dream that I woke up from, and I was in a space with a man, and maybe he was like one of my uncles from when I was young and my uncles were much younger. And he said to me, "They're coming to get you later. They're coming to get you." Remember when you were a little, okay, I grew up at a time like when, you were in school and you got into an argument and be like, "I'm going to get you later. I'm going to get you after school. You bet you, I'm going to get you." And I remember that feeling of being so afraid that, I'm about to, like, the bell is about to ring. It's time to go, and there's a fight gonna happen, and I'm in the fight. And I was just so terrified, and that was one of the places that I gave my power away. In this waiting for something to happen that hadn't happened yet. Anticipating somebody to come and get me. And my dream showed it to me. You've given your power away by future fantasizing somebody that's out to get you. And so yesterday now I'm doing the work to clean that up. And then the other one I woke up with this morning was my aunt, who when I was a little girl, I just loved her. She was just incredible. And she used to say things that would scare me. She would say things, she was a teenager, right? So if I was 4, she was 12. So she was a teenager, and she was a teenager. I came to live with her mother and her mother made her responsible for me. So she didn't really like me because I took space that was hers, and her mother, my grandmother, made her responsible for somebody who she didn't really want to be responsible for. And so I took on a lot of fear, like wanting her to be happy, wanting to please her, because I could feel that she didn't like me. I could feel it. And as an adult, I understand why. Like, yeah, I came in on her territory. Her mother prioritized me. She had to be responsible for me. But that did something in my little body, in my little psyche. It created fear. And I used to really move through the environment afraid. Is she going to be mean today? Because she would do things that were, now I can look back and be like, all right, bitch. But she would do things like she would whoop me. She would punish me. She would torture me. She would torture me in these ways that nobody knew but me. And that did something to me. Now, here's the thing. We're still connected today. And now, like, as adults, I can see that she has some guilt about it, because I was so young. I was so young that I was just subject to it. I was so young, I was subject to it. But once I got to be an adult, she became kind of deferent. She started to give deference to me. And it's almost like there's something in her that's like, does she know what I did? That's what I can feel in her sometimes. Does she know what I did? And I do know. And I don't care. Like my ego, because I understand why she was doing it. I don't feel like it was a part of the environment. It was a part of the full experience. I get it. But my little self is still afraid of her. The part of me, the little girl in me, is still afraid of, like, oh my gosh, she's going to get me. Like, she would do things like if I did something bad, she was a bitch, y'all. If I did something bad during the day, which I did often, okay, because I was a child, She would say, I'm going to get you later. And she would wake me up. Like, I would have to go to bed at 8 o'clock or 7, 8 o'clock at night. And she might wake me up at 9 or 10 o'clock and whoop me out of the bed. That kind of shit. That's mean shit, right? She just did things. And I feel today, so I'm like in forgiveness for that because I understand why she was doing it. But my point in bringing it up is that it's a place that divided me out of my power, that took me out of my power. It's a place where I gave my power away because she has so much authority over me and she wasn't trustworthy. My grandmother gave her so much authority over me and she was doing funky shit, you know what I mean, with it. And so because of that, I have been afraid of having my own authority because I know that when you have power and people are not as aware of their power as you are of theirs, that can become an abuse if you are not responsible for it. The way an adult with a child, right? I feel very much the same way today as I have access to the codes and I understand. I have a general connection to what's happening on the planet. So I know that what I'm telling you all don't know the way I know. And there's a responsibility in that to give accurate information to the best of my ability, to be responsible, to be accountable, and to not take advantage, the way I watched my aunt do. I watched her take advantage of having power. And so I'm healing that in myself. I'm healing that through my lineage because that's a karmic thing. That is a karmic thing. So today, with Mercury in Gemini, the moon in Gemini, new moon in Gemini, sun in Gemini, all of these things I'm telling you about are layers of stories. That I have collected through my life that have laid upon my consciousness and kept me from being myself because of the fear of, when I leave school today, somebody's going to get me. The fear of, my aunt is mad at me. Let me see how I can do. Those things seem insignificant. They're very subtle. But those subtle things are the things that trap us in old ways of being, trap us from not being ourselves fully, because the story that you're telling, the perception becomes your lens. And I gathered these perceptions in my childhood, y'all. And Gemini rules siblings. And so my aunt really functioned like a sister. She was really, my grandmother was raising me and my aunt lived there because my aunt was her child also. So she was really like a sister, and Gemini is siblings. And so what are the things that you picked up in your environment from your siblings, in your childhood, in your community? There was always a threat of some impeding danger coming when I was a child. It was always there. And so that frequency has been lined up in my body, and I have been moving with it since I was little. And I am getting myself free. Oh my God, it's so, and I can feel it. I can actually feel the mindset dissolving. I can feel like that sense of fear of, and just that sat in my heart that something's going to happen, and I literally can feel it leaving. Ooh, telling you, this work is real, you guys. That's why I so love it, because in order to liberate ourselves from those ancestral things that would keep us in the loop of the old reality, in order to liberate ourselves, you have to literally walk yourself home. You get to. And the more of us that do it, the more of us that heal together. And that's why I created the Daughters of the 13 Moons, because that is where we can actually do the work and the rituals together. Here in the Master Nodal class is where I give you the information so that you can, if you're not in the class, you can take this information and do your own work with it. But this is a map, y'all. This is a map. This is a map to your liberation. because the North Node is the North Star. There's this young woman on TikTok doing some work on Harriet Tubman. And you know, Harriet Tubman followed the North Star. The North Node is the North Star in your consciousness, in your subconscious. And the work that we have been doing on the planet to get us free physically is no longer what we're doing. We're doing work now to get us free in consciousness. So that we are, because your physical body, it's not really about your physical body. This physical world is an illusion. But we have been tied up in karmic patterns and the dark ages, the Kali Yuga, which just ended. The Kali Yuga just ended on March 20th. A 24,000 year cycle, also, and a 2,400 year cycle together ended on March 20th. I mean, do you understand what time it is for you to be on the planet? It ended on March 20th. So we have been in the throes of the darkest times for humans. And now those of us who have the capacity and the willingness and the sincerity get to move yourself into the light, into another age, like literally crossing a bridge. You know, it just reminds me of, I was watching the Harriet Tubman movie the other day because I've watched the movie several times, but this young woman on TikTok is just, her stuff is so brilliant that I'm like, okay, let me go watch the movie again. And at some point when she's running and she gets to the border between the United States and Canada, she literally gets off the horse and buggy and walks over the border. And that is what we're doing. We're walking over the border of our own subconscious. You're walking over the border of your own belief systems. Your freedom is anchored in your ability to let go of the mindset that had you entangled, enmeshed, creating spirits of scarcity. And because now we understand how reality works. So the time that we have been on the planet up till now, like the last 1,500 years, has been in preparation for now. It's been in preparation for now because we are having a consciousness expansion. The whole Federation and universe is watching us. Like, it is remarkable what we are doing. And for those of us, everybody's going to get there how they do, right? Like, people are either going to catch it and grow and evolve, or people are not going to catch it and they're going to die. It's like, I don't have the ego around death anymore the way I used to. Though, don't get me wrong, if somebody I loved left the planet today, I would be like, I'm still in a human form. But I understand that people just die and come back in another body, like literally. That's it. And so we're literally ending that cycle so that we don't have to come back to this earth realm anymore. If you do the work, though, you can't. The work has to be done for you to get up, to dissolve the darkness, the shadow within you, to use that shadow that's in your own experience as a mechanism, a tool for climbing and transforming and alchemizing yourself out of the dark age into the golden age through your consciousness by mulling through your shadow. The shadow is where the power is. The shadow is the fuel. The shadow is the gasoline that's going to get you to the next place. And what that looks like is, like I'm sharing with you all, like, oh, I have this fear. And I don't even know what this fear is. I have this fear of being in my own power. I can feel it. I can feel the disconnect. Like, I've done so much work that I can feel the disconnect. I've been doing this work for over 20 years. So I can feel the disconnect. Okay, well, where is that disconnect coming from? Do my meditation, my prayer. Oh, it's coming from the way I gave my power away to my auntie because she was so angry with me. Oh, it comes from growing up in a neighborhood where it was always like the threat of violence. Like, we're going to fuck you up after school. Let me tell y'all, I used to fight so much in school. I was always fighting. I literally lived in a state of physical war growing up in Watts. Mean girls, just all sorts of stuff. And I was constantly in physical fights. And so for my body to be holding that energy is normal because the body holds the memory, the water in the body. So literally, as I'm asking what's the block, and my dream state is showing it to me, then I get to do the work and dissolve it. I get to dissolve it so that I can get my power, because we are powerful beings and we have been conditioned in every way to give our power away, to go vote for somebody, to go ask somebody's permission, to go think about what somebody else want from you before you know what you want from yourself. The desire to belong, the desire to fit in, all of that is external stuff of giving your power away. What do you want? Who are you? What are you up to? And if you are alive at this time on the planet, you are here to bring forth a new reality. You are here because that's what's happening now. We are launching a new experience on this planet. We are launching a new mindset, a new way of being. And for those who can do it, who have the space now, who have the space, who aren't fully blocked up with the old mindset, the old ways of being, for those who have the space to capture the light for the new way, you will have the power that you will be, the universe will, for lack of a better word, the universe will bless you. But you're not being blessed you're being blessed to fulfill your purpose, okay? You're not being blessed to be willy-nilly, and you're being blessed to be in alignment with who you're meant to be. You're being given what you need, the resources, tools to be who you are meant to be. And so, with that, new moon in Gemini today. What story? What are you here to live out? What are you here? Because Gemini is your perception. So it's who you are. Who do you say you are? Who do you say you are? How do you say your mind should be used? How do you use your mind? What story are you telling? What perception are you generating? What are you up to? And it's very important to put in context where we are. We're coming out of the dark ages. So it's chaotic, it's confusing, it's all of that, right? So in order to get from this place to the next requires lightning focus, because there's so much chaos. It requires lightning focus. So you got to be clear about who you are and what you're up to. Because if you are not, you will get snatched by some shadow, some fear, some unfinished thing, which is okay. Don't judge it. Don't judge it. But know that that is what will occur if it occurs. And you can know, like, okay, I'm caught up by something. And then you can do the work on the thing that you're caught up by, and then move yourself forward. If you need any support, I would love to support you. You can check out my website at healwithmoonmama.com. Healwithmoonmama.com. Book your transit readings, your natal chart readings. For those who are returning clients, you can do the returning client natal chart reading. Excuse me. I'm drinking my cacao. And in my cacao, I put mullein to help myself remove the grief from my lungs, because many of us, the grief is real, y'all. Like, what is happening on the planet right now is real. And at least the physical, it's actually not real. It's the illusion dying. The illusion is dying, but it feels real. And so the lungs are holding on to grief. So I do mullein to release the grief from my lungs. I use lavender to soothe my nervous system. I use rose to keep me in a deep experience of love for myself. I use a herb called dream to help me remember that this is all a dream. It's all just a dream. None of it is real. You don't have to believe it like it is. I take cactus because cactus is the energy that helps me do hard things. Hold on one second, you all. Hi. How you doing? All right, y'all. Sorry about that. So anyway, I forgot what I was saying. It's just bought some just because of you. Can't wait to start. Okay. All right, you all. That's it. I'm distracted now because one of my cats did something that I can't figure out. So if you need support, let me know. I'm here to support you. And that is all. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.